Ms. Secretary, you want to call the roll?
Mayor Whitmire.
Present.
Councilmember Peck.
Here.
Councilmember Jackson.
Here.
Councilmember Panzarella.
Here.
Councilmember Evans Shabazz.
Here.
Councilmember Flickinger. Here. Councilmember Thomas. Councilmember Huffman.
Present.
Councilmember Castillo.
Here.
Councilmember Martinez.
Here.
Councilmember Pollard.
Here.
Councilmember Castex Tatum.
Here.
Councilmember Ramirez.
Here.
Councilmember Davis. Here. Councilmember Carter. Present. Councilmember Salinas. Here. And Councilmember Alcorn. Here. Need a motion to adopt the minutes of May 27th and June 2nd and 3rd.
Castex Tatum move.
Next second.
Motion is made and seconded. All in favor say yes. Those opposed nay. Motion passes. Any procedural motions?
I don't have any.
If not, we'll call your first speaker, Mr. Secretary.
Gloria Zentino, to be followed by Patricia Cabrera.
Good afternoon, Mayor. Good afternoon, council members. My name is Gloria Centeno, and I'm the founder of Barrio Dogs, a lifelong resident of the East End and a resident of District I. I was in the East End. It was in the East End, that I found the true inspiration of Barrio Dogs, having witnessed the issue of stray animals in our community firsthand. Our organization addresses the root causes of this crisis through a long-term strategy of youth education by teaching our children to be better stewards of their animals and their community. We also provide free spay and neuter services for pet owners that can't afford it. And I would like to extend my gratitude to Councilmember Martinez and Councilmember Castillo for supporting us with these types of services, along with PetSet and Empty the Shelter Project. But even with all that support, we still face a serious issue and need more support because the problem is so huge. As Councilmember Alcorn mentioned last week, it's going to take something significant to solve it. I am very hopeful that Councilmember Castillo's amendment to provide $500,000 to BARK will be approved. Again, thank you for the opportunity to speak. Appreciate it.
Thank you, ma'am. Next.
Patricia Cabrera, to be followed by Glenda Osorto of Spring.
Okay. Mayor, council members, I'm Patricia Cabrera with East End Communities, a collaborative of organizations, partners, and residents of Magnolia Park and surrounding neighborhoods. We promote mental and physical health and well-being by improving the conditions of our neighborhoods. Barrio Dogs is one of our member organizations, so we understand the long-existing problem of stray dogs. We hold a monthly wellness walk at Hidalgo Park, armed with sunscreen, bug spray, and walking sticks in case we encounter the very likely stray dog or two. We know that the problem is complex and exacerbated by the economy, housing, and general lack of information on laws, resources, and knowledge of responsible pet ownership. But we wanted you to know that when you support these critical services, you allow people to feel safe, mentally and physically healthy, and most of all, connected with their neighbors on sidewalks, pathways, and parks. We thank you for what you're doing and ask that you continue to prioritize services that help our four-legged friends and create safe and welcoming communities.
Thank you. Next.
Glenda Osorto of Spring, to be followed by Bernadette Blanco.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Council. My name is Glenda Osorto. I am a community member that works at Sarah Jobs, and I am here today in support of increased funding for BARK. My take is going to be a little bit different. So in my work, I meet people every day who are trying to rebuild their lives. They're going through some type of trauma, whether it be mental health challenges, unemployment, or simply navigating to life's difficulties at times. And usually their comfort comes from a very unexpected source, their pets. Whether it's a veteran living with PTSD, a senior battling loneliness, a person in recovery, or one of my very own clients, I have seen firsthand the unconditional love that these little animals bring to our people. But BARK's role extends far beyond adoption. Everyday animals in our city who suffer neglect, abandonment, abuse, and cruelty. They cannot speak for themselves, and BARK's becomes their advocate, their refuge, and often more than not, a better chance at living. BARK also protects our neighborhoods by addressing stray and abandoned animals humanely, keeping our communities safer. When you fund BARK, you are not just funding an organization. You are funding a community's well-being, its safety, and its compassion. You are funding the healing of the people I serve and the protection of the voiceless animals that depend on us. I respectfully urge you to please support BARK and approve their budget asking. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Next.
Bernadette Blanco, to be followed by Darla Berry.
Hello, Houston City leaders. My name is Bernadette Blanco. I am a longtime resident of the East End, District I. I'm also a volunteer for Barrio Dogs, an animal welfare organization dedicated to creating a better future for animals and our community. I help support Barrio Dogs' Youth and Paws education program. We're addressing Houston's animal overpopulation problem by providing education to teach young Houstonians and their families about proper pet care and the importance of spaying and neutering pets. I am here to ask our city leaders to provide more funding for BARK operations. It is unacceptable and embarrassing that our city spends less on animal welfare than other major Texas cities. My daily commute includes driving along Lockwood Drive between UH Main Campus and LBJ Hospital in 5th Ward. It's very common for me to see multiple stray dogs along this very busy thoroughfare. And I actually saw a dog get hit and run over by a truck and then frighteningly run across other lanes of traffic to get to safety. It was almost hit by another car, but I was able to honk my horn and pause traffic long enough for the dog to get out of the street. Sadly, I have seen multiple dead dogs on the side of this and many other Houston roads. It is heartbreaking, not only for the dogs, but for the children and residents who live in that area. It is traumatic. Stray cats are also a concern. There are currently 3 stray cats that are regularly on my property. Their fighting and mating wakes me up at night. My street, even though residential, is very busy and cars are constantly speeding down the road. About 2 months ago, a cat was hit and their deceased body laid on the utility easement for days. My husband also found a half-deceased cat in our yard last month. I am sure you all have read the June 2nd, 2026 opinion piece in the Houston Chronicle by Sharon Steinman. This article highlighted that our city allocates only $6.75 per person for BARK funding, while other Texas cities like Dallas and San Antonio spend almost $14 per person. You all are all in a position to make a direct impact on Houston's animal overpopulation problem.
Your time
Please
has
increase
expired.
funding for BARK. Thank you.
Thank you. Next. Councilman one moment, please. Councilman Martinez.
Yes, Mayor. I move to suspend the rules to add Lucy Moreno to the bottom of the 2-minute agenda list,
Huffman
please.
seconds.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor say yes. Those opposed nay. Motion passes. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, I'm Darla Berry with East End Kitties. We are an all-volunteer organization that conducts TNR for about 250 cats a year, and we rescue kittens to get them off the streets. I'm here today to tell you that we cannot solve Houston's animal overpopulation crisis on our own. Every week I see dumped animals in my neighborhood or someone reaches out for help with unwanted kittens or cats. We are overwhelmed because we're trying to address a problem whose solution is already well known. Spay and neuter is the most effective investment our city can make. I would like to offer 3 suggestions. We need to provide access to free spay and neuter services for low-income households. For many families, this cost is simply out of reach. We need public education campaign to share the enormous benefits of spaying and neutering. Third, we could follow Seattle's lead and ban the unfair practice of pet rent. Pet rent places a financial burden on low-income renters who often have to abandon their family member. Pet damages can be covered by a pet deposit or the regular deposit. We rescuers are willing to do the work, but we need stronger public commitment to prevention. I want to add a final important plea for more funding for BARC. They are a valuable partner, but they are required to meet an enormous challenge created by Houston residents who cannot afford veterinary care, or they don't care, or they don't understand the benefits of spay-neuter. BARC is expected to do this without the resources they need, and this is just not fair. They need much greater funding to support a city of our size. Houston can do better. The answer is not more crisis response. We could build 10 more shelters and they would all be full tomorrow. The answer is prevention and education. Thank you for your time and consideration, and thank you, Council Members Martinez and Castillo, for your past support.
Next.
Darla, I was
Ma'am.
going to make a comment to you.
Thank you.
Thanks. I wanted to, one, thank you and all the other speakers that were here today to talk about BARC. Y'all all made fantastic points as to why we need to add more resources to BARC and increase funding, from the spay and neuter to the education on responsible pet ownership to trap, neuter, release. All of it. It's an all of the above approach. This is why I've always advocated for more support for BARC through the city, through my service fund, working with organizations on the ground as well. This is all part of a effort that ultimately is going to need to involve the county as well, because those lines don't mean anything to the animals. And if we do everything right here in the city and the county's not doing their part, it's not going to make the impact we want it to make. So I'm committed to continuing to support y'all in your efforts and working on those longer term, bigger solutions as well.
Thank you.
Selena Bray Bulls, to be followed by Lucy Moreno.
Good afternoon, Mayor Whitmire and City Council. My name is Selena. I'm a District C resident, and I'm an organizer with Pure Justice. I'm here alongside my fellow community members in support of the People's Budget and a couple recently proposed amendments. I've had the honor of speaking to y'all before about the need to reimagine safety and put forth solutions that are based in resources and programs to meaningfully help those closest to our issues. Yes, safety certainly involves updated apartment inspections and moves away from harmful traffic enforcement practices, and it also requires addressing residents' increasingly urgent needs before they evolve into active danger. Like when large trash items accumulate on our streets, ditches, and sidewalks while the summer rains pick up, and this debris inevitably floats into the roads and clogs drains, which only worsens and quickens the local flooding. The ongoing illegal dumping, the hiring crisis within public works, and lingering concerns regarding contracts and fiscal responsibility are all pressing matters and issues that, one, will not simply just vanish, and two, fall directly within your authority to take action on. I urge you to move forward with amendments 402 to invest in hiring for the Public Works Department to have enough staff to address citywide drainage issues, 401 to allocate more funding for illegal dumping addressment, and 105 to create accountability measures for budget funds steered towards corporate benefits rather than, again, the city's pressing needs. These amendments will help this budget more accurately reflect your stated positions of priorities of taking care of us as Houstonians, keeping us safe, and preparing the city for future generations and seasons. The World Cup events that are happening here are going to be fun and vibrant and exciting in a way that only Houston can make happen. And as we outstretch our arms towards visitors and fans from all over the world, we cannot forget to extend a hand to the community members who are most impacted year-round by the criminal legal system, by infrastructure issues, and poverty. We cannot do that. Thank you for your time.
Just a second, ma'am. Councilman Evans Schbach.
Thank you, Mayor. I never want to miss an opportunity to encourage you. You are just phenomenal, and you are the epitome of what we want to see in our youth. And so thank you for coming forward, and we'll certainly consider what you have proposed.
Thank you,
Have
Council.
a great day. Thank you.
Thank you. You too. Thank you.
Next.
Lucy Moreno, to be followed by Cheryl Chandler.
Thank you, Councilman Martinez, for adding me on. First, I'd like to ask you to please put your phones down, pay attention. I had to pay gas. I'm on Social Security to get here, so I think I deserve your attention. You're asking $5 more from us I'll gladly give it to you, but they better pick up my trash. Yesterday, I had to fight with them. I'm handicapped. They wanted me to push my trash can over to the other side because they had already passed outside, and I'm sitting in my car. I have cameras facing the street. I have pictures, videos. Then my other neighbor down the street, he's half paralyzed. He comes dragging himself to let them know they didn't pick up his trash either. The lady has the nerve to ask him to drag his trash cans over to them. That's unacceptable. You want our money? Well, they better get on the ball because it's not fair to us. And I appreciate your time because on Social Security, we don't have the money to spare. And I'll be back next week because I have solutions for the bark thing. I think I brought them to you when you were an assistant to Trevino. But I'm very angry. Very angry. Oh, best of all, they broke my trash can on purpose in front of my face, my green one. So there you go. And if I have any media people out there, I will give them the videos. I will give them every picture I have. Because how dare they? And I'm angry, maybe not directly at you, but the people that work for you. Because they think we're ignorant, we're in the barrios, we're in wherever we live, and we're not going to speak up. They're very wrong because some of us even have 2 degrees, but we live there because that's where we were raised. I taught in that neighborhood, and I will always speak up for my neighborhood in the East End. So how dare the city take that attitude with us, that you can even break our trash can because, hey, you don't feel like dealing with it. So no. And when I come up here, I'm going to have receipts. So I didn't come up here to waste your time or mine. You want pictures? I think I sent some to Councilman Martinez, Councilwoman Salinas' office, and I'll pull my ring videos because this is one crazy woman that has 38 cameras around her house because I live too close to Greyhound. So thank you for your time and for paying attention.
One moment, please. Mayor Pro Tem.
So first of all, thank you for coming. I apologize that you had that experience because that is definitely not the experience we want for Houstonians. And if you do have footage of someone intentionally breaking your trash can, I definitely want to see it because that means that somebody either needs to be retrained or disciplined. Also, want to know, are you familiar with our solid waste backdoor program? So if there are residents, we have a couple of residents in our community that are paralyzed or have some mobility issues where they have the program where they can take their trash can in and out. And if you aren't familiar with that, I would encourage, I'm not sure which one of your council members, to make sure that you're familiar with that program, especially you said you had a neighbor that's paralyzed, that we get him on the program so that we can try to assist with his trash on
to drag himself 2 houses away from his to try to get his trash picked up, very wrong.
Right. So I wanted to make sure you knew about those programs that we have, and also that we will address if there was an incident of someone breaking your trash can intentionally. That's unacceptable, and we'd like to make sure that we have that footage that we can share with
I can't open the recycle bin anymore.
We can get you a
they're
replacement.
Still there, and it's still there, mine and the other gentleman's on the side. Because
I know your council member can definitely work to get you a replacement.
No, I know you well, and so will Salinas.
We can do it right now. A couple more council members want to ask you questions. If you'll give Ms. Wilson, before you leave, your address, we'll get you one. Hopefully it'll be there when you get home.
Okay.
And we're sorry about your experience. It's not reflective of solid waste. We have outstanding city employees, and I'm not certain what was taking place yesterday except somebody.
It hasn't just been yesterday. I have another video where I have followed
well, we'll
them
look at your video
and had Martinez's office on the phone like this so they can hear.
Sure.
Because they did not want to pick up my trash. For some reason, I don't know what the problem is.
Let me yield to my colleagues, but when you leave, give your address.
I will.
And we'll call the director. He'll have someone deliver you. You're talking about a recycling bin.
Yes, that's the one that's broken.
Okay, thank you for being here, Councilman Martinez.
Thank you, Mayor. Lucy, thank you for coming. I did get the direct message that you sent on Facebook, but I want to step out as well because aside from Facebook, it's good to call the office as well. The program that Mayor Pro Tem Cassius Tatum mentioned is something that we definitely want to make sure that you're on, and or any of the neighbors. It's something that we help a lot of our constituents, get on if they have disabilities or have challenges taking their refuse cart to the street. As far as the behavior, I echo as well Mayor Pro Tem comments. If it's something that was done intentionally, then allow my team to be able to look into it and help address it as well. But what I want to do is before I'm going to step out and speak to you before you leave today, I just want to make sure that you also have the office number, the district email, because that footage is important and we can do something about it as well. So again, thank you for coming.
That's how upset I was that I forgot. I said, I have all that Ring video. What the heck am I paying for all these cameras for if I'm not?
No, I get it. And like I said, I know we communicate sometimes through Facebook Messenger, but really the best way to go about doing this kind of work is to call the office, so that way my team can jump on it as quickly as possible. So I'll step out in a bit with you as well.
Then I ask the rest of you that have seniors, please make sure that no one abuses not taking their trash and they take it out on them. It's easy to take it out on us because they think we're meek. We're not that meek. I was out there trying to get people to vote that day, all day. So I will go out and fight for you guys, but you got to fight for me.
Very good. Councilmember Evans.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ma'am.
Hold on, Ms. Moreno. Oh, Ms. Moreno. You know I like your fire, Ms. Moreno. I mean, you getting some act right in here. You got everybody to put their phones down, especially me, and certainly I appreciate that. But, poor behavior and mistreatment is never acceptable. And, you have a camera, but there are so many people that don't. But it shouldn't take a camera for people to know how to treat other people. I mean, who's to say when or if we will ever be in a position where we may not be able to do those things that we are accustomed to doing. And so certainly it is very mindful of this body that more money does demand more accountability. And so certainly it would be just a terrible thing for us to ask for the assistance to try to get these things and then not be accountable, or the service does not improve. And so thank you for coming forward. My phone is down. I can't promise it's going to stay down, but certainly I do appreciate your fire and your coming today.
It's just I paid money for my gas. I'm sorry.
1 second. Councilor Salinas.
I want to thank you so much for coming to council. I'm so sorry that happened to you. It shouldn't happen to anybody, but you are incredibly brave and proud. I know you spoke to Veronica on my team yesterday. Know that we are all here to help you. You are not alone in this fight. And thank you for standing up for all seniors in Houston. But we've got you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Ma'am. Talk to Ms.
Cheryl Chandler, to be followed by Randall Baxley.
Hello, my name is Cheryl Chandler. Good afternoon to Mayor Whitmire and members of City Council. Thank you to District B, Council Lady Jackson, for her assistance. Thank you for this opportunity, and I stand before you to respectfully request that City Council approve an honorary street marker at 611 Grove Street at Gillespie. This marker is for Reverend Burt Lacey Jr. Reverend Lacey was a servant. He preached 62 years. He pastored at one church 40 years. His earthly work included 5 churches that he pastored. He built 4 of those churches, and all those churches under his leadership when upon his departure, they were all paid for, which meant that they had burnt their note. Reverend Lacey spent countless hours away from his family because of his God-given assignment. At Greater Mount Olive, the Black History Program was established, and your own Councilman Pollard was our speaker. He established the Lacey Day program, the Lester Hurt Scholarship Fund, a youth choir that grew to 50 or more children, the Say to No drug program, the Vacation Bible School. He reestablished the Women's Mission Department. Each summer, we had backpacks for every child in the community and a voucher where they could go buy their uniforms. Reverend Lacey was also honored as Pastor of the Year by Prairie View A&M University Ministry Association. He held a title of Dean in the South Texas District, where he taught ethics. He was honored by the late Sheila Jackson Lee and Sylvester Turner for his tireless work in the Fifth Ward community. I do not have a lot of time to tell you all of his accomplishments, but I respectfully ask that City Council please approve this marker for a man that had integrity, character, morals, and honesty, a man that you would have been proud to know. Please approve this marker because it will celebrate our mother's husband, our father's lifetime service at one church, one corner, and one community in Fifth Ward for 40 years. Thank you for your time, leadership, and commitment to our city. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am. Ms. Jackson, Councilmember Jackson.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank
Yes,
you, Ms.
ma'am.
Chandler, for coming in. I'm really excited and honored to vote on the marker tomorrow, and I know my colleagues would join me in supporting getting this approved. And thank you for sharing just the impact Mr. Lacey has made on our communities. And so looking forward to voting, and thank you. You have a blessed one.
Thank you, Mr.
One more, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Councilor Pollard.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you, Mayor.
Thank you.
No, I want to thank you for coming forward and those remarks you made. Your family has a very rich history, and it needs to be commemorated and celebrated and acknowledged. And you're doing that today on behalf of your family. And I want to give an acknowledgement to not only Reverend Lacey, but the entire family for your sacrifices and contributions as well, because it really is a community and a family affair. So thank you again, and we look forward to approving.
You did a great job when you came. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Randall Baxley, to be followed by Javon Tyler.
Good afternoon. My name is Randall Baxley. I am a resident of District H, and I have mailed a statement to Renee that is paying attention to another constituent at the moment. But Renee, if he could send the statement over, it's probably a lot. I don't know how much time I have here, whether I have one. I'm on the second list there. I have 3 minutes. We got a little bit of time then. So I can say a little bit, but I'm slow, and there's a statement that I've prepared that is in an email he can send to the rest of y'all. And this last week, White Oak and Buffalo bios, as well as Little White Oak bio, all came very close to, they came to a level that they did damage some properties, and we're moving towards getting to others. The street flooding in the Heights on Saturday afternoon was terrible. Item 5 is one that's near and dear to my heart. These wells have to be cleaned down inside the drains. The drain goes along, and as the trash goes by, there are wells down in there, and the trash goes in those wells. When those wells get full, the trash just goes and blocks something up, and then that's what we get is those kinds of flooding that we had in the street in the Heights with this weekend. If these types of projects of item 5 are produced quickly and done right, that will not happen, because that's where we have already produced large pipes in the parts of the city. Other than that, I want to speak to the super neighborhood and the civic clubs and the Super Neighborhood Alliance as being a much better process. As good as this process is of coming and talking to you, that process is much better in allowing individuals to move up from their residence where they see a problem, can take that problem to their neighborhood, take that to the super neighborhood. The super neighborhood can take that to the Super Neighborhood Alliance. The mayor appoints people from the Super Neighborhood Alliance and from others that come to that to the committees that produce ordinances that this body votes on. And that process needs to be known to all residents, not just to those of us who care to dig it out. And so I thank you.
Thank you for your comments today. Councilmember Castillo.
Sir.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Randy, did you say you have a statement here to be distributed to us?
Yes, if Renee can you forward that email on
Okay.
to them?
I want to make sure we do get that if you brought it for us.
Yeah, I prepared it at short of time and didn't have time to find the, I have the mayor and all of y'all.
Okay. Well, thank you for being here and for your comments.
Next speaker.
Javon Tyler.
Javon Tyler. Javon Tyler. Next speaker.
Vernon Broussard.
Vernon Broussard.
To be followed by Elissa Cuellar.
Hello, Council. My name is Vernon Broussard. I lived in District B for over 2 decades. I'm a proud member of Northeast Collective. With the budget vote being tomorrow, I'm asking the City Council to make sure they vote yes against the amendments and for reporting the abatements. The amendments concerning illegal dumping and the amendments for getting more resources ensure Public Works meets their crucial KPI of hiring 500 employees. The amendments for Public Works absolutely is crucial for my neighborhood, Glenwood Forest. We have flooded far too many times for this problem to be ignored. And now my home and many others face head-on increased risk of flooding with the new FEMA maps, and the ditches in my neighborhoods are one of our main lines of defense. I want to recognize the strong investments from this for this council into ditch reestablishment programs and what flood protection could mean for Glenwood Forest. This protection can help our communities recover, reduce flood risk, and protect what is often a family's most valuable assets, our homes. But none of this can be done in a timely fashion without Public Works being fully staffed. Please support the passing amendments of 4.02. I can't emphasize this clearly enough. We need to make sure we keep the infrastructure working. In addition, throughout the Northeast Houston, there are dangerous tree limbs hanging over power lines and homes. I would like to see the city take a more productive approach in addressing these hazards before they cause damage similar to what many residents experienced during Hurricane Beryl. I welcome the opportunity to discuss ideas and collaborate on situations to help address this issue. Thank you for your time, consideration, and your service to our cities.
Councilmember Jackson, sir. Councilmember Jackson would like to address you.
Thank you for coming in and sharing your statement. If there are any power lines or trees around power vegetation, reach out to our office, 832-393-3009. That's the District B office, and contact 311 so that can be reported. And then we actually had a disaster recovery with preparedness workshop on Saturday. And Centerpoint was there, and right now Centerpoint is in the community clearing up vegetation. And so the only way we know where this vegetation is at and need to be cleared up is if you guys let us know. So please contact our office, and then Mary is in the audience, or someone from my staff will get with you so that we can get that location, okay? Mm-hmm. Thank you again for coming in.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You have a blessed one.
Next speaker.
Elissa Cuellar. To be followed by David Espinoza.
Afternoon. My name is Elissa Cuellar. I'm a resident of District D. First, I wanted to voice my support for some amendments. Some of them have already been brought up, including the increased hiring capacity for Public Works, increased transparency and reporting for economic development agreements, for the Solid Waste Department, for all of the departments. I also wanted to voice my support for, I heard Director Mackay say something like Public Works is working on making water rates more equitable across their customer base. I look forward to seeing what that work turns up. And I wanted to say that I see the city's need for more revenue, and I am glad, actually, that you are working to find a solution. I think in this trash fee and in the move from the CUS, the right-of-way fee from the CUS, you have found a patch for the boat that may hold for the moment. But in my opinion, I do not think it is equitable. I do not think it is a long-term solution, and in fact, I think as time progresses, it will actually place a higher share of the burden on a smaller number of people. And I'm not inherently opposed to a trash fee. I want solid waste to have the funding it needs. I want our health department and our housing department and our water system and our libraries to have the funding that they need too. I think, like a lot of people, worry that our city is moving towards a place where it is just a police department with cup holders. And I came here for 3 reasons, really. 1, somebody told me there would be free food. 2, I love this city, and I want it to be as good as possible for all the people who live here. And 3, a little over a month ago, I watched as something that hundreds of Houstonians had advocated for months came up for a vote. And the only thing that really mattered was not the law, it was not their words, it was not their stories, it wasn't their fear or their grief or their opinion of the people that you govern, but the opinion of the governor. And that is not right. It is not representative democracy, and I think it is a sign that something is broken here. So I know you have hard decisions, and I urge you to really listen to the people here today and tonight really consider what your responsibility to the people of the city who have the least amount of power as you make your decisions. And I suppose that's all I really wanted to say. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Next.
David Espinoza, to be followed by Karina Blessed.
Hello, Mayor, council members. My name is David Valentin Espinoza. I am a co-director at West Street Recovery and a resident of 5th Ward. So for the past 5 years, I've been doing volunteer work, working at West Street. Me and my neighbors have been researching and just figuring out the reasons as to why flooding happens in our neighborhood. And ultimately, what my neighbors are going to say or have said over right now or the past 5 years that I've been working with them, the big thing is investment, right? We need investment in the resources that we need, the infrastructure that will actually keep floodwaters off of our homes, that actually to invest in our safety and our well-being, our state of mind, that allows us to live there long term, allows us to run our businesses, and make our communities feel safe. Although, first I do want to acknowledge that I know that there is some funding already set aside for LDP and the ditch reestablishment, and these are very important to address these the problems in the neighborhood, things that happen in our communities with flooding. So I want to thank y'all for that. But that's, a start. But let's get to the point. What I'm asking here, the council to support 3 amendments. And that's Amendment 4.01 that will allocate $3 million for illegal dumping. There's a problem with big open lots or streets with no front-facing houses where just trash is dumped off, sometimes by contractors. There's a lot of building material out there that we picked up during our cleanup day. And these are like streets like Wayside, Liberty Road, Green River Road, streets that y'all probably have driven down, probably want to avoid driving down because of how it looks. Amendment 4.02, that's investing $500K in hiring public works department employees. And it's simple. We need to invest in working hands that will build that drainage infrastructure. And Amendment 1.05, and that's to implement accountability measures for the $93 million that we give in tax abatements to corporations. And this is to keep tabs of our industries that receive tax abatements to make sure that they're following up on their end of the bargain as far as job creation goes. And these amendments are the step in the right direction. But considering last year's budget and what we've read in this year's budget, I feel like we do feel like it does more harm than good. So I'm asking all of my council members to vote no on that budget, to oppose an inequitable trash fee, the depletion of our water infrastructure funding, and continued overinvestment in policing. Overall, the budget does not serve the people who are supposed to be represented in this room. So what we want is a people's budget. So I want you to keep looking at that over there, where the people are the city.
Your
need
time has
investments.
expired.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next.
Karina Blessed. To be followed by Murtala Tristan.
Thank you very much, Councilmen and women. Mayor Whitmire, thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak. I'm here to speak primarily about the trash fee. I am absolutely okay with paying for trash. I deeply appreciate our public workers, and I think they deserve a better pay. It is thanks to Chris Hollins and Edward Pollard that I'm here to what I have called the great switcheroo, taking from the general fund and put it into public utility fund. Councilman Joaquin Martinez has been very instrumental in helping me with my 311 requests. And as I don't know, I hope you don't remember, but I have called twice because of my sewage being backed up and overflowing into my home. The sewage fund needs to be protected. The water fund needs to be protected. Please, councilmen and women, do not approve this trash fee. We need equitable trash fee. I guarantee you somebody with a home that is $1, $2, $3 million have a lot more trash than I produce in my home that is not of that amount. And they would not be bothered to pay a greater amount than what's being proposed. Something that we're not talking about is our landfill situation, and I think that needs to be addressed. Because right now, the landfill is not being accounted into our $43, which is actually the cost of our trash fee. It is not $25 and it's not $5. So I am happy to pay for the actual cost of our trash fee. However, we need to be talking about our landfill situation because we're going to run out of space. And our cost is going to increase dramatically because those trash, the trash that they pick up, they're going to be transported much farther away. And the cost of actually creating a new landfill will be, I'm sure, very high. Something else that I want to share with you all. Last Saturday morning, a man carrying a machete ran down my driveway into my backyard. And I thought I was being delusional, but that actually happened. I'm not happy to report that our neighborhood made into the Greasy Hood News, where you can check out footage of this incident. Why am I bringing this up? Did I call HPD? No, sir, I did not, because I needed help, so I knew to call our constables, because when I called the constables, they are at my door 10 to 15 minutes. And why is that? They have accountability, something that HPD, whom I deeply respect, do not have. So instead of giving them an 8% increase in salary, use that money to provide GPS trackers so that when somebody calls HPD, they respond in an adequate amount of time. I have called HPD before. It's 2+ hours wait if they show up. We have a problem, Houston, and it needs to be addressed. So please allocate funds where they need. A budget of 40, 60% in HPD, that's not what we need. Thank you very much.
Next.
Murtala Tristan. To be followed by Anita Guevara.
She needs a translator, so she'll go first and then I'll.
Buenas tardes, alcalde y concejales. Yo soy Murtala Tristan. Yo vivo en el área de Lakewood, en el distrito B, y soy miembro del colectivo de acción, del Noroeste Acción Colectivo. Es una área, ustedes saben, que nuestra comunidad sufre frecuentemente de inundaciones. Por estar en el centro, se conectan los bayous debido a los altos niveles de pobreza. A muchos de mis vecinos les falta cobertura de seguro adecuada y tienen enormes dificultades para prepararse después de un desastre. Por ejemplo, en mi vecindario las zanjas aquí son un poco profundas. En las calles de Las Cruces no hay zanjas. Y además, este marzo tuvimos un día de limpieza con el Noroeste Acción Colectivo y mis vecinos, y nosotros recogimos muebles, escombros, basuras en las orillas de la calle y dentro de las zanjas. Esta combinación provoca que las intersecciones de lo largo de Las Cruces sufren una fuerte acumulación de agua, ya que esta puede llegar al bayou. En días lluviosos como los que hemos tenido recientemente, hay demasiados problemas y para mí lo único es invertir más de nuestra comunidad. ¿No les parece? Entonces, ¿por qué estamos descubriendo que quieren quitar dinero para construir los trabajadores necesarios para cumplir con su deber de sus promesas de protegernos? Por eso vengo a decir que apoyo a la enmienda 4.02 para emplear los trabajadores necesarios para completar estos proyectos y emplear gente de nuestra comunidad. Y también apoyo a la enmienda 4.01 para ayudar a gestionar la limpieza de basura. Existentemente y prevenir la acumulación de basura futura, que podría obstruir varias pluviales, provocando inundaciones. Hoy les pido que sí, que voten a estas enmiendas mañana para que personas como yo, que estamos luchando por casi 9 años, tengamos que vivir aterrizadas cada vez que llueve y tener una mejor calidad de vida.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council members. I am Mirtala Tristan, and I live in Lakewood area of District B, and I'm a member of the Northeast Action Collective. As you know, our community frequently suffers from flooding because it sits at the junction of local bayous. Due to high poverty levels, many of my neighbors lack adequate insurance coverage and face immense difficulty recovering after a disaster. For instance, the drainage ditches in my neighborhood are shallow, and there are no ditches at all along Las Cruces Avenue. Furthermore, during a cleanup day this past March organized by NAC, the Northeast Action Collective, my neighbors and I collected furniture, debris, and trash from the roadsides and out of the ditches. This situation causes severe water accumulation at the intersection along Las Cruces, as the water cannot reach the bayou during rainy days like the ones we've experienced recently. There are too many problems, and to me, the logical step is to invest more in our community. Don't you all agree? So why are we finding out that you want to cut the funding needed to hire the workers that are required to fulfill your promises to protect us? This is why I am here to say that I support Amendment 402, which would hire the necessary workers to complete this project, employing people from our own community. I also support Amendment 4.01 to help manage the cleanup of existing trash and prevent future accumulation that could clog waterways and cause flooding. I ask you today to vote yes on these amendments so that tomorrow people like me do not have to live in terror every time it rains. Thank you.
Quiero decirle a todos los concejales y al alcalde que se preocupen por nosotros, por el Northeast, que somos los más pobres y estamos olvidados por completo. Gracias.
I want to tell the mayor and the council that for you all not to forget about us, the Northeast, we live in high poverty rates, and you all need to remember the promises you made us. Thank you.
Thank you. Next.
Anita Guevara. To be followed by Dominique Chacon.
Good afternoon, City Council and Mayor Whitmire. My name is Anita Guevara, a resident of Lakewood and a longtime member of NAC. We lived well for many years until Hurricane Harvey. Until Hurricane Harvey's hit, since then, the drainage in my neighborhood has not been kept up. During Harvey, the water was so high, we were trapped in the neighborhood waiting for help, and there was nothing we could do except wait until the water cleared up. But even to this day, it takes days for water to evaporate because it has nowhere to drain. In the intersection of my street, Gillette and Las Cruces, has happened every rain. This past week, it rained for days, and the intersection were full of water. Preventable flooding like this makes it very difficult to navigate for elders like myself and my son who is blind. This is not just an inconvenience. It is a threat to our health because it can make getting to dialysis and to the doctors very difficult. Why does this happen? The streets near me have no drainage system at all. Blocks away, there is inlets, but they are full of trash and mud. The ditches everywhere else in the neighborhood or in the community are too shallow and too overgrown with grass. Some of them do not even lead water into the bayou. There are ditches to nowhere. We need investment in drainage system, but illegal dumping makes it way worse. There's heavy trash along Las Cruces Avenue and even more on Green River Road that ends up in ditches. Contractors who do not care about our neighborhood know when no one is looking, no one will hold them accountable. My neighbors in NAC do their best to clean up after them, but we cannot keep up. What I am asking for support from you all. We need dedicated funds to address illegal dumping. We need you to end the hiring freeze and invest in workers to finish the job. I have seen good work you have done on Homewood and Woodland to let the water flow easily, but
your time has expired.
Say yes to vote yes for Amendment 401 and 402.
Councilman Jackson.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Ms. Anita. Ms. Anita, thank you for coming in and sharing your testimony. Ms. Anita, and thank you for coming in and sharing your testimony. So what I need for you to do, if you see some illegal dumping over in your area, can you contact 311, please? And then contact our office. You can even text us and let us know. We have a hot team that's running throughout the district 5 days out of the week, picking up tires, picking up illegal dumping. They helping seniors cut their grass. They're doing a lot of great work in the district, and so I want you to be able to take advantage of that. And just know that the flooding, I know Lakewood has some serious drainage issues, and so I will be following up just to make sure you know exactly what projects are happening in your area and when they're going to happen. So just want you to know we are working on it. It didn't get that way overnight, but we're working to make sure that everything is taken care of. And there's money in the budget to take care of those issues, okay? But thank you again for coming in. I really appreciate you sharing your testimony, okay?
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye.
Dominique Chacon. Elizabeth Lumia. To be followed by Stephanie Valdez.
Hello, everyone. Council members, Mayor, my name is Beth Lumia. I am the co-director of disaster preparedness at West Street Recovery, and I'm also a member of the Northeast Action Collective. And I'm a resident of District C. And Councilmember Panzarella, really nice to see you. Congratulations. I am here today because the working class Houstonians cannot afford a new $5 monthly trash fee, especially with the promise that the fee will only increase. People are struggling right now. I don't know if you've noticed, I don't know if you all have been listening. Life is not easy for a lot of people in Houston. SNAP benefits have been slashed or eliminated entirely. While the cost of gas, groceries, and housing continue to skyrocket, we're still thinking about adding on a $5 monthly trash fee. You cannot ask Houston families to pay a budget gap they did not create. Before moving to Houston, I lived my whole life as a New Yorker. So let me tell you a little bit about what's going on up there. Just a couple of days ago, the NYPD announced record lows in major crime, transit crime, housing authority crimes, among other things as well, for the first 5 months of this year. That's not because they increased an already inflated police budget or because they put thousands more officers on the streets. That happened by funding critical infrastructure, public services, and community support systems. When you fund parks, when you fund infrastructure, when you fund the resources that people need to thrive, they do. Okay, well, enough about New York. Now let's talk about Houston. Council members, I'm asking each of you to vote yes on the following three amendments. Amendment 4.01 to allocate $3 million to tackle the illegal dumping, which is an issue that impacts all districts, as well as Amendment 4.02 to invest $500,000 to hiring public work project managers and inspectors, so we can finally fix the drainage problems that are tearing through our neighborhoods. And lastly, Amendment 1.5 to implement accountability measures for the $93 million in this city's budget that is spent on corporate tax abatements instead of social services. Finally, I urge you, all of the council members, to vote no on the budget. We must oppose this inequitable trash fee, stop the depletion of our infrastructure funds, and stop continued overinvestment in policing. This current budget will make life harder for everyday Houstonians by passing a regressive fee and draining money from the very water infrastructure that keeps Houston healthy and safe. Thank you.
Next.
Stephanie Valdez, to be followed by Eric Gonzalez.
Good afternoon, Council. My name is Stephanie Valdez, and I lead the Water Justice Program with the Coalition for the Environment, Equity, and Resilience, and I am also a member of the Northeast Action Collective. For years, Houstonians have been told that difficult decisions have to be made, that there is simply not enough money to fund the services that our communities need. Yet somehow, year after year, we continue to find hundreds of millions of dollars for policing, while the departments responsible for keeping our city functioning are asked to do more with less. For example, look at the library. This budget continues that pattern. It is a budget that's balanced on the backs of working people. It asks residents to pay more while receiving less. It shifts costs, delays investments, and relies on accounting maneuvers instead of addressing the root causes of Houston's financial challenges. One of the most concerning examples is the diversion of water utility funds to help offset the cost of a new trash fee. Water utility dollars should be used for water infrastructure only. Houston does not have a surplus water system. Houston has a water crisis. Our city is dealing with aging infrastructure, water main breaks, sewage overflows, flooding, and decades of deferred maintenance. Residents across Houston have repeatedly raised concerns about water quality, reliability, and affordability. HISD schools continue to grapple with lead contamination concerns, and families deserve confidence that the water coming out of their taps is safe. At a time where we should be making historic investments in our water system, this budget moves us in the opposite direction. Houston continues to flood. Every major storm exposes the vulnerabilities in our infrastructure. That neighborhoods have flooded multiple times are still waiting for solutions. You all have heard their stories. They're here week after week, taking time off work, and they're all urging you to listen to our needs. Yet public work remains understaffed, under-resourced, and not prioritized. The people responsible for maintaining our roads, drainage systems, water lines, wastewater systems, and critical infrastructure are being asked to do more with fewer resources. We cannot continue to demand first-class services from departments that are operating with a staff shortage. The reality is that infrastructure does not care about politics. Water lines will break whether we fund them or not. Drainage systems will fail whether we invest in them or not. Flood waters will continue to rise whether we prepare for them or not. And at the end of the day, you can't shoot a flood. At the same time, large corporations continue receiving tax abatements and incentives while residents are told to tighten their belts. This is not fiscal responsibility or a balanced budget. This is not putting Houstonians first. The truth is that every budget is a moral document. It reflects our values. It tells us who matters and what matters. And this budget tells us that we continue finding money for policing while underinvesting in water drainage, public infrastructure, and services that improve people's quality of life. Mayor Whitmire, this will become a part of your legacy. For those council members who are nearing the end of your term, this budget will also become a part of your legacy. And for the council members who will be here long after this vote, you will be left to manage the consequences of these decisions.
Your time has expired.
Remember who you are accountable to, your constituents, and Houston deserves better.
Next.
Eric Gonzalez. Tracy Hamlin. Siri Vorvik. To be followed by Larissa Jacobs.
Hello, council members and mayor. I'm Siri Vorvik. I'm a resident of District C, and I'm here as one representative of the Houston People's Budget. I'm a professional urban planner, and I have a degree in urban studies and urban planning. As an urban planner, I'm deeply familiar with how drainage infrastructure is implicated in the quality of people's lives. Infrastructure impacts us all, whether through the dirty water that comes through my tap, or even more dangerously, the overflowing ditches that enter yards and homes in Northeast Houston. For years, you have heard from residents with decades of experience trying to protect themselves, their families, and their children from toxic water due to drainage issues in Houston. And as you know, funding infrastructure is a key way to ensure physical and mental health, which in turn supports a safe and connected city. It is a preventative measure instead of reactionary, and everyone deserves a baseline of a safe, functioning, and clean city. I'm here today to ask you to vote yes on amendments 1.05, 4.01, and 4.02 from council members Ramirez and Salinas. The mayor is urging the council members to remove these amendments and impede the democratic process. Councilmember Ramirez and Councilmember Salinas, we urge you to stand strong on our behalf and not withdraw these amendments. First, we need to reinvest in hiring in the Public Works Department and keep that department accountable to its promises through these measures. Second, it is paramount we implement accountability measures for the $93 million spent on corporate interests instead of social services. Yet, all of this comes at the cost of a budget that turns its back on its citizens. I'm here today to ask you, council members, to vote no on this budget, oppose the inequitable and burdening trash fee, the depletion of infrastructure funds, and the continued overinvestment in policing. A city should take care of its people, first and foremost, and a city's budget is a reflection of its commitment to doing so. I've heard that this city prides itself on affordability. And yes, that is part of the reason why I moved here. Yet, the approvals of last year's budget and this year's budget shows that affordability is no longer a priority, which many in this council ran their campaigns on, and this is a change demonstrated in my own lived experience. This budget betrays your priorities and the most vulnerable populations you represent, and the people do not believe this budget stands for them. So you have the power to serve the people, and I'm sure you are ready to take a stand to do so. And thank you.
Ma'am, just a second. Councilmember.
Thank you so much for coming to speak. Really appreciate your advocacy. I just wanted to clarify one thing you said. The administration is not opposed to my amendments and has actually been quite supportive of providing additional funding towards illegal dumping and combating it. So just wanted to clarify we're all on the same page about pushing forward on that amendment.
Okay, that's great to hear. Thank you.
Thank you. Next.
Larissa Jacobs. To be followed by Terry Smith.
Thank you so much for having me today. I'm Larissa Jacobs. My nickname is LJ. I'm with Fit Houston. We're a nonprofit serving the health of communities. We now have about 20 walking groups, actually a few more. Our groups combat chronic diseases and loneliness, social isolation by bringing people together to walk and activate public spaces, communities, neighborhoods. Many of you have walked with us, and we're very grateful. We do what we do because the Centers for Disease Control says that walking is the physical activity of choice to reduce or prevent chronic disease. It's also a way to bring communities together. Many times, the doctors are sending people to walk with us. We even take referrals from Memorial Hermann through Walk Prescription now. Many of our walkers are seniors. They need to get outside and increase their vitamin D, which is an epidemic among that population, and many of us actually. We all need to get our physical activity, but it's very, very hard with the stray dogs and the loose dogs that I see every time I visit one of our walking groups. It's actually pretty terrifying. I have had to turn around. We have about 92 registered walkers, for example, at Denver Harbor. They love our groups. You have brand new sidewalks there where we walk, but they've been telling me they don't want to go outside often because I can't believe I'm saying this, but they're telling me they've been bitten, which that was the first time I'd heard that. They'd actually been bitten by loose dogs. So, you know, I see this in all neighborhoods, not just in the east part of Houston. I just wanted to clarify. We're seeing it all over. So we really support the investment in BARC. We would love to see some kind of solution so that we don't have to be in, I call it crouching defensive pose when you're just trying to get healthy. So anything that you can do to make sure that that investment happens, we would be in support of it. We just want to be able to walk and be healthy. Walking is free, and it's a lot cheaper than insulin or other treatment for cardiovascular disease and metabolic syndrome. So thank you so much.
Ramirez.
Yeah.
Thank you, Larissa. Always good to see you down here. And thank you for the work that you do at Fit Houston. As you may know, Councilmember Castillo has offered a budget amendment to add some funding to BARC, and I'm grateful that he's done that, and I'm supportive of that because the issue you bring up is an important one. We hear from people all over the city about dangerous and scary encounters with dogs, and your walkers deserve to be able to enjoy that free of the fear of being bitten by a dog. So I just want to say that, and not to detract from your message, which is an important one. I do want to note that you are also here as a proud mom. Your daughter Trudy, who's in the back there. Trudy, would you stand up?
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you so much. The newest member of my staff. So proud to have her on staff. She was an intern last summer, did a great job, and recently graduated from the University of Texas, Hook'em Horns, and we're just grateful to have her.
Thank you. She loves working here, and she believes in the city, and I don't have the right to speak for her, but we both do. We love our city. I should also say we have done yoga outside and have pit bulls weaving through our yoga mats. Very terrifying. So we're just fortunate nothing's happened yet, but thank you so much for your support. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Next.
All right.
Terry Smith. Kendra London. To be followed by Isosa Edo Samuel.
Good afternoon. I would like to say thank you to the mayor and to Councilmember Jackson, as well as your Chief of Staff, Ms. Mary Moreno, for your swift response and professionalism to the residents of Clem Manor. But I wanted to know, did you all know, I'm here to advocate for the residents. The residents have been taken off the speaking minutes for today. Were you aware of that? Yeah, she's there. She's here, but her name was removed. When I visited her apartment yesterday, she signed up on my phone to speak, and her name is not on here. So I shouldn't be speaking for her. She should have time to speak for herself. But Councilmember Ramirez is who I was coming to speak to. The last time I was here, he asked me about Clem Manor residents. I spoke with him about the harsh conditions that NHP Foundation has the residents living in. The NHPF Foundation has not been held accountable since 2020 for sewer damage, the same concern that has been happening over 6 consecutive years for the same building, not different buildings, the same exact building. The young lady who is here to speak for herself has been going through this since 2019. She's navigated through the hardships. She's been she's been insulted by the amount of money that has been offered to her. I used to have my nonprofit inside of Clement Manor apartment complex, so I understand the inside of the office. I used to be on housing myself. I used to be on Section 8, and then I gained stability to get off. So now I understand both sides. The NHPF gave me $300 and two $50 gift cards to issue to 4 different units as a fix. Since this young lady has been going through this, not one thing has been resolved. She's bought her own equipment to fix the sewer damage. No one would want to live 2 hours in what she's navigating through with disabled children. There was feces coming up through her bathroom sink on yesterday. I have it in my phone. I videoed it. There was water coming from the wall going through the hallway. Ever since she put that concern in, not one maintenance order has been done. I want to know this new program that the city created that is going for these slumlords. Why are we still allowing private developers to come in with their own nonprofit? That nonprofit does not do a quality assurance for the resident. It only covers the mistakes of the developer. And nobody is held accountable for all of the harsh financial hardships that they have to go through. She can't even turn her lights off, her air off, because of the smell of mold that she would have to go through for her children. They would have to consume this. And nobody's putting any pressure on NHP. And it's not like I'm against developers. I'm against the injustice that goes on for the residents. Who takes up for the people? Nobody.
Ma'am, Council Member Jackson.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Kendra, for just your advocacy. You're always advocating for the folks in District B, in particularly Clement Manor apartment complexes in their area. I was under the impression that the health department had went out from the previous request. I know it was a request 2 weeks ago. Yes. From understanding, they went out. But I will follow up with the health department, and then we'll come out and do an inspection of, the area. Okay. I guess it's the building that she lives in. Yes. But and
it's not just her. It's all 4 units, right? So one of my biggest concerns is the residents will come to me and tell me the harassment that they experience after they say what's going on in their apartment. Then all of a sudden these letters of back pay that they owe come up. All of these letters of 24-hour inspection is now due. This is harassment after they tell you that they simply want standard living conditions. Who is going to hold them accountable? And the reason why I was asking Mr. Ramirez, Councilmember Ramirez, the last time I was here, he asked me everything that was going on with NHPF. They had people coming in there, and I asked them not to come in there with City of Houston shirts on so they could build true rapport with the residents. And I sat there for free and consulted. And then it's still the same thing with the same people. And I watched the front office, who is owned by the developers. That company is hired by the developers also, to say, oh, it's income tax time, watch them buy all this new furniture. They're not buying new furniture because they want to. They're buying new furniture because it's bed bugs. It's infested with bed bugs and roaches. So they don't want to spend their money like that.
Ma'am, thank you for being here. Will you talk to Rebecca Williams and let her work with you? Thank you, Rebecca. You know what to do.
Isosa Idu Samuel. to be followed by Terry Blanton of Missouri City.
Good afternoon, Mayor Whitmore and council members. 1 in 10 women have endometriosis, 1 in 10 have PCOS, and 8 out of 10 black women will have fibroids by the age of 50. And when women are dealing with these debilitated hormonal and horrible period problems, they go to their medical doctors and they're often offered birth control or surgery, which unfortunately doesn't address the root cause and often leads to repeat procedures and in some cases delayed fertility. My name is Asosa Edosamwan. I'm a certified nutrition specialist, board certified coach, and the founder of Staying Ageless Coaching. And for the past 6 going on 7 years, I've been helping women reverse symptoms of hormonal imbalance naturally using simple diet, supplements, and lifestyle recommendations. And because we're virtual, we service women all over the country and all over the world. We have an 83% success rate. Some examples, my client Chanel, who was bleeding for over a year straight. She went to multiple OBGYNs, could not find relief. She joined our program and her period normalized in 3 weeks. Or my client Chidi, who was sent by her OBGYN, she had ovarian cysts, fibroids, 40 pounds overweight. She had horrible acne and she was on 15 medications. At the end of our program, she had gone down to 1 medication, her skin had cleared, and her final ultrasound showed that she had no cysts on her ovaries, 1 remaining fibroid, and she also lost 40 pounds. For the 2nd year in a row, we're hosting our Womb Wellness Workshop at the SAID Institute in Houston. And I'm doing this in tandem with 2 other women-led businesses, Sage Supportive Services, which is led by a licensed psychologist, Full Circle Family Services, which is a midwifery practice. And we're basically going to be teaching women the history behind hormonal health care, things about their hormones, helping them understand how to deal with things holistically, and offering a Q&A for them to get their questions answered. So we would love and would be honored to have you all there. Whether you can join or send a representative or just get the word out to your districts would be really appreciative, because your presence would really tell us that women's health really does matter. And I'm also currently building the technology to bring this kind of hormonal health care to women at scale, especially holistic. And so if there's any initiatives in the city that connects to work happening, I would also love to continue the conversation. I really appreciate your time today.
Councilmember Castig-Statham.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you so much for being here today. What you said definitely resonates with me. I think that it is important that so many women suffer through their hormonal challenges in silence, and we can definitely amplify that message. You being here does that. If you could share the information about the event, I'm happy to share that with our constituents in hopes that we can reach any other women that may be suffering and looking for opportunities to help to clear up some of these concerns or questions that they may have about their health.
Thank you so much.
If you can email our offices, that would be extremely helpful. If you send it to me, I'll send it out to the council members if you don't have access to all of our emails, but it's on the city's website.
Okay, perfect.
If it's,
Thank you so much.
If it's easier that way.
I have a hard copy of a
Okay,
flyer.
if you give it to Renee, he can give it to us. But
and I'll send you an email as well, too.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next.
Terry Blanton of Missouri City, to be followed by Gabriel Patin.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am most grateful for being here. Less than a week ago, I was in ICU. I had a heart attack. My blood pressure went over 240, but I am here today because I'm here for a cause. I am the CEO. I have a production company, but right now we're talking about Teen Scene, as you can see, our T-shirts. These are not just T-shirts, guys. I had all of this memorized, but I can't remember all of this, so I'm going to just go what I know. When I look around and I see the people or the city, I think about our kids, because I believe that our teenagers are our future. Right now, the teenagers are getting a bad rap in the media. But I'm here today to show you that there are great kids out here. I brought her here just to show you all this. while we were sitting here listening to everybody, this is what she did. But she also did this. Not right now, you guys. She didn't do this right now, but she also did this. So what we're doing with Teen Scene, what I am asking the city to do is to invest in our teens. There are positive teens out there that are doing great things. I stepped up to the plate to say that I am willing to mentor. I have teachers out here. As you can see, they went to put money in the meter. I think they thought they had to put money in the meter, so some of them are gone. But we have mentors out there, business owners, people that have stepped up. We need to come back and invest in our kids. Not all of our teenagers are negative. There are positive teenagers that are out there that's doing positive things. Those are the things that we need to be thinking about. These are the things that we need to be investing in. What we plan to do is show them, just like her entrepreneurship and as teenagers. It's summertime, so there's a lot of things to get into. So we want to make sure that our teens are getting into something positive. Back in the day, I went to Ashtaboro and Waterboro. They don't have Ashtaboro and Waterboro anymore. We have all of these buildings that are out here that are just sitting idle. What I'm coming to you today to ask you is that if you give me the chance and the opportunity, that I will fill those buildings with something positive. I will fill it with kids. And I'm sorry, you guys, I'm a little emotional. I will fill it with kids and teenagers that are doing something with their lives. I have a 16-year-old daughter, and I also work at the airport. I also did me and Sylvester Turner was friends as well. I did a commercial with him. With him as well. So where I was at work one day, I asked one of the kids that was flying out to Puerto Rico. I asked him, I said, why are these kids doing this takeover thing? What is this about? He said, Miss Terry, it's just like the adults are listening with no ears. And I didn't understand what that meant until I walked away.
Mayor
We're not paying attention.
Thank you for being here today. We are listening, and I do want to let you know many of our offices support the Case for Kids program through Harris County Department of Education. Those are grants that are available for organizations to apply for. If you're not familiar with it, I would highly suggest maybe that would be an opportunity for us to support programs for our teens. And you can find it on the Harris County Department of Education website. They do a couple of cycles of grant funding throughout the year, and it's also available for summer funding. So please look at that opportunity as well. And thank you for sharing her craft with us. I, too, went to Astroworld and Waterworld. My first job was at Astroworld. So the young people today are definitely missing out on the fun that we did have growing up. So thank you for caring about our youth and our teens, and we appreciate the work that you're doing. We say it all the time, government can't do this work alone, and we need people like you to help us to make sure that we are raising great boys and girls to be productive citizens in our great city. So thank you.
Thank you again. God bless you.
Next.
Gabriel Patin. Doris Ellis Robinson. Okay. To be followed by Matthew Rankin.
Good afternoon, Houston City Council and Mayor and all the good friends and good people of Houston. I stand here today because I am a proud Houstonian, and I'm always coming up with things that I think can make Houston a little bit better and to appreciate your service. So good afternoon, Mayor Whitmire, members of the council, distinguished guests, and fellow citizens. I am Doris Ellis Robinson. I'm publisher of the Houston Sun newspaper and president of the Houston Sun Foundation. We are a newspaper who has been around since 1983, and we are still here and excited about our opportunity to work with that First Amendment that gives us the opportunity to be here in this setting today to talk to each other. 161 years after freedom for African Americans, thank you for allowing me a few moments to share information about 2026 Juneteenth celebration and asking you to help amplify what freedom means, because our current president says that we don't need Juneteenth. And so we need amplification from those who are elected. Please, please, amplify it, amplify it. And we need to honor the legacy of freedom, unity, and progress. Juneteenth marks the day when enslaved Africans in Texas finally learned of their freedom. It is a celebration of liberation, resilience, and hope, and a reminder that freedom must be protected by all of us and passed on to future generations. The Houston Sun Foundation has already begun its Juneteenth activities. We have crowned our Miss Juneteenth Queens, and we hope to bring them here next week. We have awarded our essay contest winners who talked about, is Juneteenth really necessary? And the young people were vital and vivid in their discussion. And we successfully hosted the Lionel X. Robinson Talent Show. We are especially proud of our first place winner, Mr. Rashad Williams, who will reflect what he said during the time.
Hello. Hello, everybody. Hello, people of Houston. My name is Rashad Williams, and today I will be reciting for you a poem by, The Black Family Pledge by Maya Angelou. Because we have forgotten our ancestors, our children will no longer give us honor. Because we have lost the path our ancestors cleared, kneeling in perilous undergrowth, our children cannot find their way. Because we have banished the God of our ancestors, our children cannot pray. Because the old wails of our ancestors have faded beyond our hearing, our children cannot hear us crying. Because we have abandoned our wisdom of mothering and fathering, our befuddled children give birth to children they neither want nor understand. Because we have forgotten how to love, the adversary is within our gates and holds us up in the mirror of the world, shouting, "Regard the loveless." Therefore, we pledge to bind ourselves to one another, to embrace our lowlies, to keep company to our lowlies, to educate our illiterate, to clothe our rage, to feed our starving, knowing that we are more than just brothers and sisters. We are our brothers and sisters. In honor of those who toiled and implored God with their golden tongues, and gratitude of the same God who brought us out of hopelessness and desolation, we make this pledge. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Rashad. The speaker before me spoke about youth, that we start our Juneteenth with youth programs, and we want the youth of this city to be ready to take your seats and other seats in this nation. So thank you. We have things going on, parade. Join the parade on Saturday. It's free.
Very good.
Okay, come.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you, Mayor. Ms. Robinson, thank you for coming today and amplifying Juneteenth. And do want to say we are glad that you brought this young man to read his poem, and we would continue to support your efforts and the efforts of amplifying the importance of Juneteenth and supporting our youth and making sure they understand our history. So congratulations to you, and we appreciate you sharing your talents with us today.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you being there. We have a schedule. Get on it. May I pass out this? You can take it.
Sure, give that gentleman. Councilor Evans Shabazz.
Thank you, Mayor. And Mr. Williams, you did that. I am so very, very proud of you. You're standing there with a legend right there next to you. And so certainly I will be honored to participate in the parade and certainly to sponsor the entourage of royalty that will bless us on next week.
Thank you so
much. And so thank you so much for what you do. People speak of you so fondly, and I personally appreciate all that you have poured into me as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. And Ms. Robinson, I just want to thank you for all your efforts and leadership, not only this year, but in all years. The information and the news that you put out to our communities is vital. The friendship you had with my mother, all of it is very meaningful. All of it is very necessary. And so for your mentorship of the youth and your continued efforts to amplify our community, I just want to say thank you for all your contributions. I'll be out of town this weekend, but I'll be there in spirit.
Thank you so very much. You know, we live under this sign. It says the people are the city, and I'm just one of the people.
All right. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you.
Okay.
Next.
Matthew Rankin of Corpus Christi, to be followed by Rocky Jackson.
Hey, Matthew Rankin, Blatantly Armed Media, and today I'm happy to say that I'm the first citizen to open carry to a council meeting here. Until half an hour ago, I didn't think it was going to happen, but it looks like it's happened. Just so you know, about 4 years ago, state legislature passed a new law. Normally, open meetings are a prohibited place, but they added an exception. Anybody with a carry license can carry their handgun into the meetings. That applies statewide to every meeting held under the Open Meetings Act. You guys have complied. It's a little 4 years late, but a couple other cities are doing the same thing 4 years late, so you're in okay company now, and it didn't take giving you an AG letter to get it done. It's what'll be handed out to you guys, but you don't need that anymore because you're not going to get one. So thank you for that. We still got a little bit to work on because you guys have knives banned for the building, and you can't do that. So Penal Code 229.001 is the state preemption law. It doesn't allow you to make any ordinance, rule, policy more strict than the state law involving any kind of firearms or any kind of knives. And the only thing in state law is that knives over 5.5 inches are banned in the prohibited places list. So for this building, you can't ban knives, can't do swords, spears, whatever anybody wants to bring in. For the council meeting, you can still ban large knives because the only exception on the prohibited place is handguns when you've got a carry license. But for every other city building, pretty much everything except for the city jail or a standalone city courthouse, you can't ban weapons of pretty much any type. But I'll give you guys a chance to figure that one out too, because there's a lot of other cities that have done the same thing and had to get their policies changed. You guys did this in 2 hours, so I'll give you a little bit more grace for taking care of pocket knives. Thanks, and letting everybody know, council members, if you got a carry license, you can carry now. Pretty much the only people that can't carry in this room now is your employees, because you've probably got a city policy saying they're not allowed to carry on the job. I'd go ahead and work on changing that now too. I just think it'd be fair. If you guys get to carry in here, they should get to carry in here too, or when they're at work downstairs. Y'all have a great day.
Next.
Rocky Jackson. Jeremy Peel. Felix Kapoor. to be followed by Alfredo Dominguez.
Good afternoon, Council and Mayor. I'm Felix, and I wanted to say, one, thank you for the increased investment in the ditch reestablishment program as well as the LDP program. I wanted to come up to read a testimony of a resident that lives on Dockel Road and how she was a renter that was flooded out after a heavy rain earlier this year. I could email that out to your offices instead. And really, I really want to use this time right now to talk about how this trash fee is inequitable and the water fund that we do have to support residents is not good enough. There's too many restrictions. It creates a lot of eligibility problems as well. And we need to figure out something before August when this fee gets passed. Also, it's really, really critical that we get resources to Public Works to fix and fill in the 900 vacancies that they do have right now. If that was an HPD problem, you know, they would receive $1 billion to fill that award up. So we need to make sure those resources are put to where they're going to work. Thanks.
Next.
Alfredo Dominguez. Ruben Garza, to be followed by Eric Sanchez.
Thank you, Mayor and City Council. My name is Ruben Garza with Strong Towns Houston. I first want to say thank you to Council Members Julian Ramirez and Alejandro Salinas for proposing two important budget amendments regarding transparency on on tax abatements and for combating illegal dumping. I do understand that the administration supports the illegal dumping proposal, and there's supposed to be a motion regarding the tax abatement ordinance or tax abatement proposal. We'll be happily tracking that and throwing our support. I'm here to talk about parking benefits districts. Specifically, we have 3 in Houston, and with a lot of the available street parking in the city, we are leaving a lot of money on the table that can be given to a fund to support local infrastructure development and improvements. Again, the 3 in Houston have done tremendous work on fixing our streets, installing lights, and trimming trees, particularly in the museum district. We're leaving a lot of money on the table in downtown and east downtown, and even in my growing area in 5th Ward. Parking benefits districts have been shown to support a lot of local infrastructure improvements at little to no cost to the city. Happy to speak more on that if needed.
Your time has expired.
Thank you. Yes.
You can have some of my time, Ruben, if you need.
I mean, that was it. I was just specifically going to, well, if I had a little more time, I was going to elaborate more on why we would need a downtown parking benefits district. You know, the city of Houston has dedicated 25% of its land in downtown to parking. That is the most valuable land in the city, and a lot of that on the streets in particular is free real estate, as we tend to don't charge meters past or before certain hours and after certain hours. I understand there's some special rules that can be in place, but with the downtown parking benefits district, we could have extra funds from from additional meter revenue dedicated to a fund that would improve local infrastructure. Maybe we could have funded the Main Street Promenade with out-of-town visitors, meter money. Who knows? But you know, a lot of other cities have instituted instituted parking benefits districts to great effect for local projects. Thank you.
Next.
Eric Sanchez, to be followed by Jacob Clementich.
My name is Eric Sanchez. The 3 cases I have presented to you are all closed. There is no reason for the authorities to keep withholding the footage unless there is something to cover up. This is a matter of public concern. I ask that you deeply consider this and put yourselves in my shoes. Imagine suddenly being woken up by a dozen HPD major offenders officers. They break down your door, hold you at gunpoint, order you to comply or die in front of your family and in front of children. Imagine being taken by force, half-dressed, into an interrogation room, and the detective spends most of the time discussing a fraudulent police report filed by Grizzly Hood News and Facebook posts regarding attorneys Rusty Harding and Sylvia Escobedo, instead of the alleged assault charge. Imagine seeing the footage of how these officers and civilians lied to set you up and they are not prosecuted. Instead, they are protected by county lawyers. Imagine being told to just be happy you didn't die or go to prison and move on. This is not justice. This is not right, and the records must be released. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Next speaker.
Jacob Clementich, to be followed by Eduardo Duran.
Most of this morning stuff I get is free, and well, I got the shit for free, and the Rockets were having a promotion one day at the George R. Brown Convention Center, and Rudy Tomjanovich was there, so I got an autographed shirt from him with NBA World Champions on it. So yeah! And well, on my cap, I have Jeff Bagwell's autograph, and on the bag I have Jeff Bagwell's autograph, and I give to Mayor Whitmire a sports baseball for practice signed by Jeff Bagwell with HOF 17, Hall of Fame 17. And well, Twyla Carter is a real star to me, so well, I got a actual quilt for her to autograph. And what else? Yeah, most of the stuff that I get for sports is free, and so, well, I pay attention. Like Academy had a promo, and I got that. And can I have some more time to tell a UT joke?
Go ahead, Jacob.
Thanks. Okay. Why do IEs have a preference to run for Attorney General or Agricultural Commissioner?
I don't know why.
Because the first letters begin with AG, Agriculture and Attorney General. And when they run for the office, it's a real aggravation to UT Longhorns.
Thank you, Jacob. Thank you for being here. Next speaker.
Eduardo Duran, to be followed by Joseph Amari.
I got a couple of clips. I won't be able to get to the second one because specifically I was trying to find the science medical literature that the very solid alternative news reporter is actually stating, but I can at least I found this one. It starts at 1630, so it's Michael Holscher, a epidemiologist, studies epidemics over at the Mechaloke Foundation, and this is not some kind of ridiculous conspiratorial nonsense, which seems to be just finding itself to be more true all the time. So,
while it may suppress those mosquitoes, they tested this out. Google did in Fresno in 2018. It suppressed the mosquitoes, but as soon as they were done dumping the mosquitoes, they all came back. And so what they require is a subscription service. Google wants these states, wants these mosquitoes, they all came back. And so what they require is a subscription service. Google wants these states, wants these corporations, these governmental organizations to subscribe to Google's
Mr. Duran, you can go ahead and wrap up your comments.
I was trying to show you that one clip, but the thing is that she keeps on ringing the bell, so
right, because your time expired. But go ahead and wrap up your comments.
Right, because all I'm trying to show you is this one little clip, and I'm not trying to debate or discuss it. I'm just trying to show it to you and then walk out the door. That's it.
Okay, thank you.
Because if you're not informed about this, by all means, who am I supposed to go ahead and bring it to?
I know. Thank you for sharing.
So please.
Came back. And so what they require is a subscription service. Google wants these states, wants these corporations, these governmental organizations to subscribe to Google's mosquito releasing subscription service? Because that's the only way it even works.
Why would
If you want to go ahead and send us a
want to be in the business of a subscription
transcribed
releasing mosquitoes in states?
version of that, we'll definitely take a look at it.
That's pretty much it. Google is releasing subscription-based mosquitoes statewide to every state. I don't think this is something humorous or some kind of, funny little conspiracy thing.
Right.
And I can send you. And pretty much the other thing is that, people are getting Algal syndrome and, allergies to meat because apparently ticks are being released as a way, as a moral obligation to allow for moral bioenhancement of people. So pretty much you're saying that making people allergic to meat is moral.
Thank you for sharing that with us.
Yeah, and I can go ahead and actually bring you, next time I'll be able to bring you the actual science medical literature from the government on Gov websites. But by all means, this is not some kind of a pride, egotistical thing here.
Thank you, Mr. Duran.
I understand that it is for you, but certainly, every time I come here, I always bring you the best information.
You do, and we appreciate it.
A year before it happens.
Thank you, sir.
Joseph Amari.
Hello, Mr. Omari.
How you doing today?
I'm wonderful. Thank you, sir.
All right. Last time I was here, I spoke before the mayor and the city council. I spoke about the legal jurisdiction. I hope all the affiliates on both sides of the aisle, the Democrats and Republicans, had an opportunity to decide the position that they agree or disagree by the constitutionality of the jurisdiction in the United States of America civil and criminal court system, court proceedings, and law enforcement jurisdiction before and after military martial law. Regrettably, Congress did not oppose or debate before the media of the American people, President Obama, military martial law directive. However, judicial branch of government have constitutional jurisdiction over all legal matters, civil courts, criminal proceedings, United States of America law enforcement agencies. Officers have jurisdiction that includes township, city, counties, parish, and state, national, federal, law enforcement jurisdictions. They have the power to investigate crimes, charge, arrest, try, convict, acquit suspects, defendants, in criminal cases. Judicial branch government have also the power to investigate, charge, arrest, indict, and even impeach president, vice president, congressmen, governors, mayors, city council, judges, and federal law enforcement. Thank you. Judicial branch government have the power to interpret the laws established by the executive and legislative branch of government, determine whether the laws are questionable constitutionality. Have the United States military only have legal jurisdiction or military based over military courts and over enlisted soldiers and officers. The United States military does not have constitutional jurisdiction over private citizens, private business, private property, private sector, public domain, or only have jurisdiction over local, nor have local jurisdiction over state, national law enforcement agencies such as the police department, sheriff department, state department.
All right, Mr. Omar, we got it.
Attorney General, U.S. Attorney General, or the FBI, U.S. Marshal. All jurisdictions are the umbrella of the judicial branch of government and not the executive branch of government or the executive general government.
Mr. Omari, thank you so much for being here today.
I think somebody teach civics again in American history. I know everybody.
I don't disagree with you. I agree. We need to keep civics in our classrooms.
American government and American history, it's a very important part of our educational system that TOS test did not teach our kids.
I agree. Thank you, Mr. Omari. We appreciate you being here today.
Nathaniel Leonard.
Nathaniel Leonard.
Mr. Whitmer, where'd he go?
Go ahead. It's your time. Yes, sir.
Okay, I was hoping to see him.
Oh, go ahead. We're here.
All right, you don't look like him.
No.
Anyway, Nathan Leonard. Barack Obama said that, he said to expose bigotry and to basically, take care of it whenever you do expose it. And so that's all it is I've just exposed some that happened in my life and stuff, and you probably try to figure out How could that happen for 20 years? Well, probably by knocking you out, kidnapping you, and brainwashing you, and to affect your short-term and long-term memory and do things to you. So I came to a Council of Justice after seeing people like Joel Osteen, Gallery, Furniture, Mr. Gallery, and Jim, what is it, Jim McInville. Thank you. And also NAACP, and also the mayor of Austin, and now this Justice Council. So I'm trying to get some help and stuff with the situation of something that like that happened to me as far as my working rights, constitutional rights, and civil rights that were targeted and what's the other word? Target and anyway, caused me some problems and stuff, and I'm trying to just get that taken care of and get maybe Ben Crump to help me out with that, and I haven't heard anything back from y'all. So
Your time has expired.
Okay.
Well, thank you for being here, and we wish you the best.
Okay, I don't want the best. I want some help.
Okay. See Renee. Renee will be able to help you. Maybe we can get in touch with Mr. Crump.
Oh, okay. Who?
Renee will help you. Renee here in the black jacket, sir.
Which one?
Right here in the black jacket.
Hey, Renee.
All right. Thank you. Next speaker.
This completes the list of speakers.
Council. Yes, sir. Council, we stand in recess until tomorrow morning at 9.